They always tell you that your 20s are for searching and your 30s are for arriving. But what if you wake up one day and realize you've arrived at a place you never wanted to go? What if you did everything right? You met the expectations, you filled the roles, you stepped into the boxes they laid out for you. And yet, when you look into the mirror, the person staring back feels like a complete stranger. I spent so much time learning how to survive the heavy days. I became an expert at hiding, at enduring, at simply accepting failure. I was so focused on not failing that I forgot how to climb. I was so busy trying to keep up with the race I never signed up for that I completely lost my own breath. So today, the running stops. No more performing. No more hiding from the truth. I'm holding a pen, staring at a blank page, ready to draw a new trajectory. Not a checklist to embrace a world that isn't looking anyway, but a slow, deliberate blueprint of how I want to feel when I wake up. A radical 1-degree shift, because underneath all those noise lies one single, terrifying question that I can no longer avoid. Am I happy? And if the answer is no, what am I actually going to do about it? We always wait for the lightning bolt, don't we? We wait for a new year, a tragedy, a milestone age, or a sudden, traumatic wave of motivation to completely rewrite who we are overnight. We love the poetry of an execution, tearing down everything we've built just to feel the thrill of a fresh start from the ashes. But the earth doesn't move that way. True, lasting evolution is quiet. It's almost boring. It's microscopic. It's the decision to alter your trajectory by just one single degree. A movement so small that nobody else notices it. But if you put your trust in those milestones down the road, that tiny, quiet tilt will land you on a completely different continent. That's what this will be for me. My 1-degree shift. I'm letting go of the need for a dramatic transformation. At least I'm trying to. I'm not burning my life down. Instead, I'm taking the pieces I already hold, the messy, beautiful, ordinary fragments of my days, and I'm finally arranging them in a way that allows my soul to breathe. But staring at a blank page like this brings back a feeling I haven't felt since I was a little girl. It's the terrifying vulnerability of being a beginner. Somewhere in the process of growing up, we unlearn the pure joy of curiosity. We forgot how to just play. Because we were told that we can't do that anymore, that we're too old for that. And that's kind of sad. As adults, everything we touch has to be optimized. Every hobby has to be a potential side hustle, a marketable skill, or an aesthetic piece of content for an audience to validate. The moment we try something new, the phantom of professionalism stands right behind us whispering, "Are you good at this? Is this worth your time?" I want to kill that ghost. I want to build a playground in my life where there is no evaluation and no deadline. I want to find something to be completely, wonderfully, terribly bad at, just to remember what it feels like to create without the paralyzing pressure to perform. And maybe I'll surprise myself at being not that bad at it. Who knows? I miss the girl who didn't care about the outcome, and I think it's time to go find her. And maybe finding her means changing the way I treat the home I live in, not just my house, but my body. For too long, I've treated my physical self like a vehicle to carry my overthinking mind around, or worse, an enemy I constantly needed to control and criticize. I don't want a forced morning routine designed to maximize my daily productivity. I want actual substance, a return to the basics, where nourishing myself is an afterthought and where the clothes I wear are an expression of who I am, not a shield to hide behind. A routine with which I feel good about myself. I want to feel strong, physically stable. I'm searching for resilience in my muscles that mirrors the resilience I am desperately trying to find in my soul. Because true strength isn't about how perfect or thin you look to a stranger through a screen. It's about how unshakable and grounded you feel within your own skeleton when the world outside gets loud. But to build a sanctuary, you have to look at the golden cages holding you captive. For me, that cage has always been the desire to please, to want someone to be proud of me, to fit in. The silent, suffocating need to ensure everyone else is comfortable, even if it means breathing in my own discomfort. It's an exhausting way to exist. You step into boxes you never choose. wearing masks that drain your energy just to keep a peace that isn't even real. I'm unlearning that structure. I'm learning the heavy, beautiful weight of a gentle, unapologetic no. Because every single time you say yes to something that drains your soul, you are actively saying no to your own life. I want to be braver than my people-pleasing patterns. I want to walk right up to the boundaries of my own fears, the ones that make my hands shake and my chest tight. And I want to just stand there. I don't need to conquer the mountain in a single afternoon. I just want to look at the edge, acknowledge the fear, and realize that it doesn't have the power to shrink my own world anymore. And then there are thoughts we rarely bring up to a casual coffee because they feel too monumental, too permanent. The adult crossroad that hit you in your late 20s and early 30s. Career, relationships, the echoing, quiet question of family, of kids. Yes or no? We are conditioned to believe that by this stage in life our choices should be locked in stone. Deviation feels like a failure, and standing still feels like falling behind. But looking at this wide space, I realize that choosing not to choose out of fear is also a choice. I'm taking ownership of my timing. I want to make decisions based on what brings me internal peace, not what satisfies an artificial societal checklist. And to find that clarity, I know I need to pack a bag and go somewhere completely on my own again. I need to remember what my own voice sounds like when there is no one else around to answer. When your passion becomes your work, the magic can easily turn into gravity. You start looking at the breathtaking sunset and your brain automatically frames it for a portfolio or a client instead of just letting you feel. You stop living the moment because you're too busy trying to document it. I'm staging a creative rebellion against my own expectations. I want to be messy again. I want to make films and take photos that have absolutely no commercial value, no strategic purpose, and no filters. Creativity needs a wild, unstructured playground, not just a boardroom. That's why I'm returning to journaling. I did it constantly as a child, spilling my raw, unfiltered heart onto paper before I learned to filter myself for the world. I want to keep a record of my survival this time. Not a performance for an algorithm, but an anchor. Because every single change I'm trying to make is just a vehicle to get me closer to the only thing that has ever mattered. Learning how to feel the beauty of the ordinary world again. This isn't a magical makeover that happens in a fast-paced 10-minute YouTube montage. This is a slow, deliberate, sometimes painful process of uncovering. At the very bottom of the page, underneath all the habits, the fears, and the creative dreams, I left that one final question. Am I happy? Right now, the honest answer is, I'm learning how to be. I'm realizing that happiness isn't a trophy waiting for me once every single item on this list is checked off. Happiness is the willingness to actively participate in my own growth. It's the courage to change what it's breaking me. This journey isn't about changing who I am to please the world. It's about uncovering who I have always been underneath the noise. It makes me wonder, if I strip away the expectations, the roles, the timelines and the fears, who am I? Truly, I don't have the answer yet. But for the first time in a very long time, I'm actually excited to find out. This is the first step. Let the journey begin.